Discontinued
Gravy.
gravy.
Discontinued gravy.
Goal, to simplify life and make it fun.
Because we've been there.
I mean, we're in our mid-20s.
So we've seen it all.
This is
Discontinued.
gravy! Oh my god.
Oh my god, we're back. We're finally back.
We're finally back. It's been a while. But before we get into that, I have one thing to say, Krista.
Okay, yes.
Shout out to Table 7.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, Table 7. Y'all are awesome. You know who you are. Yes, sir. Anyway, so we have not been around.
No, we vanished, and I'm very sorry about that.
Poof. It was a whole thing, basically. So when you last heard us, it was episode 88, May 30th, I think it was, because somebody brought this up to me not a couple days ago. And, yeah. So we had this whole plan. You know, our birthday was in the middle of this.
And we actually planned this. Like, what did we want to do for Discontinued Gravy's second birthday?
And it was quite the plan indeed. It was.
It involved multiple people.
It involved multiple people. It had multiple people. It involved dinner and a nice setting. And it was all good. But that was supposed to be episode 90, which was the week after, which was what's supposed to be episode 89, which is technically this one. But then everything happened.
Basically all at once.
So the idea was we were going to take a hiatus anyway after the 90th, which was our second birthday episode because, of course, Krista's wedding. So that was a plan all along, and you would know this, but it never got out because the audio, the video, it was all corrupt. It didn't work.
Yeah, I believe the last thing we said in the last episode, we're like, we have something planned, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And then you never heard from us again.
Yeah, and we just kind of went radio silent. So that happened, and then episode 89, which we could have got out prior to that, we couldn't because I was in Montreal and you were planning weddings and stuff. So
and bacheloretting.
Right. You had your bachelorette weekend. It was, yeah. So a lot has gone on, and we're sorry you have not been around. So that's been a thing, but we're back here finally. I think we missed the entirety of June.
Yeah, I think that's a Discontinued Gravy first. I don't think we've actually missed a full month before. When we've taken hiatuses, it's maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks here or there, but yeah, this got away from us. But I think you'd understand.
Yeah, exactly. Once you hear about everything that went on, I hope you'll forgive us.
I think y'all will. So anyway, should we just go right into it, I guess, or?
Yeah. Guess what, Nick? I'm a married woman.
Yes, you are. You very much are. Yeah. On July 2nd of 2022, she's locked in, engaged. She signed a long-term contract.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of for life, actually.
Signed something that got the law involved to make sure that Spencer never leaves me.
Yeah. So it's locked. It's loaded. It's a lifetime contract. Can she live up to it? You know, we're gonna see in a few years.
Mm-hmm. We're like 4 days out. Feeling pretty good.
So far, so good.
Forever to go, you know?
It's a good start. At least you got a good start, you know? You got to have that good footing to begin with. You don't want, like, a rocky start and then find your form. You just want to have good form all the way through.
Oh, Nick, and honestly, the world has kind of been testing us in the funniest ways.
I bet.
Which I'll tell more when I go into about the honeymoon.
Okay.
Because I feel like people probably want to just, like, know what we did. It's common knowledge that you usually do a honeymoon or a mini-moon or something after a wedding.
Correct, yep.
Right? But just for people who don't know, Nick was actually the MC at my wedding. Yeah!
I was, and I don't know how much of an MC I was, to be honest. That was...
Honestly, Nick, thank you so much. You were that grounding presence I knew you would be. Nick happened to be kind of a gopher throughout the day. He was just assigned odd tasks while having to announce to the audience, our friends and family, what was happening next.
I definitely did a few things. You know, those table numbers in the frame. Yeah, I had to cut all of those to fit the frame.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
I filled petals in bags. I did that.
Oh, Nick, thanks for doing that.
I moved the chairs and moved the tables when we needed it. Made popcorn for the select people that got popcorn.
Hey, the little girls were so happy.
I'm sure they were. I filled the champagne.
Yeah, we panicked when that happened. I was like, Nick, here.
You both looked at me. I looked at you. I'm like, I feel like I know what's coming.
Yeah, you just happened to be standing there.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it was fun. I had a good time. Like I said, the emceeing, like, like MCs, like, I feel like pretty proper. You introduce what's happening. You might kick in a joke here or there. I was just more like, it really was just like a live Discontinued Gravy episode. It was just like, yo, table number 2, dinner.
Yeah, so it was so funny because, so I sent Nick an itinerary, probably like the Wednesday night before the wedding.
Something like that, yeah.
Or the Thursday, so very close to wedding day.
Couple days, yeah.
With like, my itinerary was very extensive. It's like what was happening every 15 minutes starting Thursday.
Yeah, it was
to Saturday night.
Yeah, it was very, very specific.
And I didn't have time to go through and highlight his name for him like I was planning on doing. So I sent him like a small one that had 8 points. So like when to expect our arrival, when he needs to be there, blah, blah, blah. But Nick was so chill. He was messaging me like on the Thursday or the Friday night being like, okay, is there anything specific I should know? Because there's a lot of info here and sorry, I can't come like help set up. And I was like, oh no, don't worry. Like we already got all that done. And he was like, okay, phew, because I'm sure Nick was a little panicked because he thought I was expecting that, but I didn't even tell him I needed him.
Nope, that just came on the list. I'm just like, well, my name's here and I can't show up.
Yeah, the list was so extensive, which is the one thing I learned is that a list that extensive shouldn't go out to everyone else or anyone else because it just confuses them at that time frame. Yeah. Because things were changing and I knew and Spencer knew and the families knew.
But nobody else
That was
did.
about it.
Yeah.
We kicked ass and we got so much done on the Friday.
Yeah.
So like the chairs needed to be set up, all the tables were set up except for like the few little things like flowers on the tables and glassware, etc. So we left Friday feeling pretty good, but that ruined all the tasks I had assigned to keep people busy, like the groomsmen.
Right.
And some of the family members I knew that were going to come to the venue early because they're an Italian cultured family. Mm. They want to be there. They want to help.
Yes. But
they will do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So you got to assign tasks.
Yeah. Definitely it was... the main people that were helping, it was definitely me, Haley, and
Tony, Tamara.
Was it Tony? I think Cassidy's dad.
Yeah, that's Tony.
Okay, yeah, it was him. He was a key factor as well.
Yeah, he was another little gopher.
Those were, I'd say though, like Haley, me, and Tony were definitely the all stars of that man.
They were the pillars.
Definitely shout out to them too.
Yeah, I mean Haley kind of knew that was coming, I think, because she's like a friend of a friend, and we've become much closer. So I'd actually consider her a friend now.
Oh, she's a badass.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. Love her so much.
Love you.
But she booked a trip in June, and it was supposed to be gone that whole time.
Ah.
And I didn't hear back from her till like a week before the wedding, which was also like. I didn't send her an email update because I knew that she was not going to be available readily.
Fair.
So I didn't send her an email until like a week and a half before the wedding, being like, "Hey,
nice.
Just checking in. Are you still going to be there?" Right? Like, should I expect you?
Yeah. That's amazing. That's funny.
And she was great. She went through my entire itinerary and like pointed out some good questions about like, okay, like what about plan B? What about this? Like just the things that you need to bounce off of someone else, especially the rose petals.
Yeah.
Funny part, Nick, the rose petals that you stuffed into the bags.
Yeah.
You did a very good job on that. And what was supposed to happen was that there was real rose petals that were bought for the throwing that were going into the bags.
Yeah.
But it got lost. My dad brought it to Spencer. Spencer put it in a beer fridge. The beer fridge got moved to the bar. That thing got moved somewhere else. So those rose petals just got lost.
They're just not there anymore.
But the thing with the fake ones, the ones that Nick ended up stuffing, is that they stick together so tight because they're not plastic, but
it was like a fabric-y type of thing.
Yeah, they're fabric things. So they get stuck together once you put them in a bag. So I'm sure that was horrendous to do, Nick. I'm so sorry.
Well, it was kind of like stuffing them in, and half of them didn't go in, and just kind of making a mess.
Yeah, that's okay. It looked beautiful.
I thought it did.
Yeah, I thought it looked nice. It was honestly so great for me. My one advice for brides or anyone planning their own wedding: get the day of coordinator, or get someone that can act as a main contact that day.
That knows.
For example, that was for me. That was Haley, and then I knew Nick was another main contact. Yeah. Just because Nick will figure shit out. He'll be like, "This is probably not what I'm supposed to do, but I'm gonna this is what I'm doing." Yeah. No apologies, right? And that's what you need on that day, because as a bride, you don't have time to be answering all those questions. And I was freaking out. At, I think it was 11:30 a.m., I was like, why do I have no text messages? Why is no one asking me anything?
Because
What's going on?
Because we had it.
Yeah, no, I did not get one text message except for a few, happy wedding day, or, have so much fun texts, right?
Yeah, I suppose there were a couple things I could have texted you, but I was like, she's probably getting ready. I'm good.
Yeah. Nick's like, I don't need to deal with a frantic KRYSTA.
Nope.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that when it was a hot weekend, I lucked out with the weather on the Saturday.
It was perfect for your wedding, just an FYI.
Oh yeah, it was perfect. But the Friday when we were doing setup, it was 28 degrees.
It was hot.
It was hot. It's a backyard. We didn't have any shade because we were putting up the tent and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know when your brain just fries out and you're like, and you can't actually make any more words?
Yeah, yeah.
That's where I got to.
Fair.
Right? And it was just one of those things. It's
it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I was just receiving comments that I didn't really need. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I know I probably shouldn't have done that, but I don't need to hear that right now.
Yeah, exactly. Just move forward.
Yeah. So for example, for the tablescapes, essentially I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I practiced it a month earlier on my mom's dining room table, but I didn't have a lot of the things because I was renting them.
Okay.
So I used a bed sheet, a lot less eucalyptus, cheesecloth that wasn't dyed yet, and I had forks and knives and the plates.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the greenery or everything else to make it look nice. So I had an idea of what I wanted. Yeah. But on the day of, they're like, I got asked by someone oh, why didn't you think about what you wanted on the table beforehand? And I was just like,
bitch, I did.
I did, but when there's other components, I just need to figure out what the one table will look like, and then we can build off of that. Mm-hmm. And we were one hurricane vase short on setup. So for example, the vendor table didn't have any hurricane vases. No one noticed.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a long candle holder.
Ah.
That's glass. So your table had it.
We did.
But the table next to you didn't.
Right, but I okay, now thinking about it, I can picture that table not having one. But I wouldn't have known unless you pointed it out, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's not just because you're a boy or anything. It's just because there's already so much going on the table or something.
Yeah.
Right? And plus they were the vendor table. So I didn't actually think I was going to have a table for them. I thought I was just going to split up the vendors and put them on the ends of each table.
Right, yeah.
But then I was like, oh no, they should have their own space so that they're not getting annoyed by guests.
Right. It was kind of funny that you talk about the tables, and because you know that those green sticks and leaves that were on the table? Sure, yeah. So we moved the tables and everything. Everything was good, and Haley and I were just hanging in the garage trying, just thinking about first the popcorn machine, then we were just thinking about it. Then she looks down, I look down, and there's just this box of these eucalyptus, which I'm pretty sure you bought at HomeDepot.ca.
No, we got it from our florist, but maybe she got it from there. I don't know.
I don't know. There's definitely a few Home Depot things back there, and I was like,
oh
triggered.
Yeah, there was a few other things that were Home Depot-y. That was from Spencer's dad, and I told my dad and his dad, if they needed a Home Depot hookup, I had one.
Yeah, they didn't, and triggered. That didn't trigger me, but just seeing it triggered me. Like, have a day off. But
okay, but Nick, at the same time, when I mentioned that I had a hookup, they're like, "Oh my god, what location?" And I was like, "North Van." They're like, "Not worth the gas."
Fair, but I could have saved them a lot of money. Anyway.
Right, and plus, like, I could have met up with you and picked up stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, but we looked at it, and Haley looked at me, and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "That needs to go on the table." And this was like, we were moments away from like getting people to sit down. So we're just like rushing to put it on there, and literally I'm just kind of putting it down, and I think it was Cassidy who came over and was like, "I know how to do this," and started helping out.
Oh man, so what happened was that I started setting it up on the Friday, and then everyone's like, "No, it's going to dry out. No, it's going to dry out." And I was like, "No, in my notes it says."
Was that real?
Yeah, they're real. They're real eucalyptus.
That was real?
Yeah.
I thought it was fake.
No, so it's silver dollar eucalyptus. That's why it's so thick.
Oh, I was confused.
Yeah, so I went through this whole thing about finding the best eucalyptus, ended up getting silver dollar, was told it was going to dry out, so I put it in there, and I was like, okay, well, we need to tell Haley then, like, where it is, and, like, for someone to take it out of the water. But we did cut all of them to make them shorter because they were like whole branches.
Right, yeah.
And so we cut them to make it shorter to hopefully make it easier. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It was just so funny. It was just like, shit.
You're like, okay, this is a go time.
Yep. So that happened.
No, but honestly, it was just very great knowing that, like, someone like Nick and Haley were there. I know Cassidy was messaging Haley a lot, like, going, I'm like, what are you telling her? Like, I need to know at least if something's going on.
Yeah, no. Haley and I were pretty much a dream team, if I'm being honest.
Honestly, you and Haley together would be my dream.
Pretty good team. But, no, that was funny, and just a lot of things. Actually,
it looked great. You guys did great in the short amount of time you had.
I'm glad we did. But something that was funny that confused me for the first few times. So I was starting to greet the people and hang about and stuff like that, right? And people were just like, "You look familiar," and I'm like.
You're like, I literally know none of you.
Who are you? Who is this person? I'm just like, oh, really? They're like, yeah. They're like, yeah. I'm like, what do you want from me? And she's like, dog, 1 sec. And she's like, the podcast. I'm like, oh, right. That would make sense.
Yeah, but usually for the podcast, people just hear our voices, so I don't associate my face with it.
No, but apparently enough people see the Instagram or watch the videos, and they're just like, oh, I know. I got it like 6 or 7 times. I swear to you.
Do you know what I was told about you, Nick?
Oh,
which
God.
I thought was funny, was that a lot of people were like, your podcast partner. Taller than I thought he'd be.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, why is that the thing? Like, when people ask me like about you, I do like one of the features I mentioned is tall.
Right.
Like, how tall are you? 6'3"?
6'3".
Yeah. Like, I just associate you being the same height as Carson, and I'm like, that's tall.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Right?
I guess it's nice to know that I'm taller in person than I appear on the podcast.
We do sit the whole time. So.
I guess you wouldn't know. But
yeah.
I got nice long legs. Don't worry.
Well, I'm glad that people were like noticing the podcast.
I was surprised how many people actually knew about it. Like, I get it, but like at the same time, you still don't expect it.
Yeah, and like my side like has kind of met Nick. Like my dad has met Nick before.
Yep.
Apparently our family members kind of know each other from the past.
Yeah,
type of thing.
She did not. I think she was there.
She was there, but she didn't stay very long because
she never
my
said
uncle
hello.
couldn't come as well.
Yeah,
so she left to go see him.
Fair enough, but she did not say hello. But Brianna, we met for the first time.
Hey, the last Vanderhelm sister.
She looked at me and she was like, Nick? I'm like, Brianna?
You're like, I know you.
I'm like, wow, finally meeting you, eh? And then I got to know Lucas as well.
You love Lucas, don't you?
They went off the deep end. But that's okay.
I mean, this is common knowledge, so I'm not gonna hide it.
Oh, okay.
In college, he was known as Pukey Lukey. If that helps explain anything about the night.
Oh, totally, 100%. That is, yep.
Yeah. But the thing is, he wasn't the only person that got cut off.
Oh, he got cut off. That's amazing. I didn't know.
I don't think he went back for another one, but they were going to cut him off.
Right, but he was lost. No, there were definitely a few lost ones. You're not wrong. It was funny.
No, someone was getting triple rum and cokes or something.
Wow.
In a short glass, and I'm like, just take a shot at that point.
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know, but anyway, so.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, why don't you just get a nice glass?
Yeah.
With one ice cube, and have it neat, whatever, on the rocks.
Yeah, no, it was nice to see all these people and associate myself with these people, and now I have a lot more friends.
Yeah, oh my god, that's what made me so happy. So, I did the seating chart very quickly. Some people's names were spelt wrong. I'm very sorry.
Yep.
Jamie and Robin.
And
Uncle John.
There's another one. Table 7. You missed one at table 7. Can she remember? And it was such a KRYSTA mistake, too.
Was it Ashley?
No.
Well, I didn't spell Jessica wrong.
Nope.
Becca?
Nope.
I didn't spell Shannon's name wrong.
Nope.
There's one of the boys? Colton?
Yep.
Oh.
It's his name is Colton. You spell Coltin.
Okay, to be fair, we redid though. So for people who want to know, there was little coasters that Michaela. Was that? Oh yeah, right there. So essentially, there's acrylic pieces that we hand painted and then put vinyl on top of, right?
Yes. Yep.
So we had to make 70 of those. Michaela did not like Cassie and I's work and decided to redo them on the Wednesday night before the wedding.
Oof.
And the vinyl was not, or the acrylic or whatever was not working. It was a whole ordeal. And so she had to reprint names a few times. Sometimes she printed it off the wrong list because I had 3 different seating chart lists. And I sent my thing to print 2 weeks ago, comes back 2 days before the wedding, and I'm looking at it and I'm noticing 3 or 4 names spelt wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sorry. Because I realized it was spelt wrong, but there's nothing I can do about it. It takes a week to print something like that.
Yeah. No. It's more funny than anything.
Yeah, and honestly, no one can even get mad at me over something like that. So I was like, blame me. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was.
Who's going to blame the bride? I dare you.
And I was just like, that's just such a KRYSTA mistake to make.
Yeah. And I felt bad for Colton, too, because I didn't have any Coronas for him.
Good guy, Colton. I like that guy. Table 7.
Table 7. So when I was doing the seating chart, I was like, okay, where do I place Nick? Because he's going to be busy running around, but he's not necessarily a vendor. So I was like, he can't be at a family table. Don't really need him at a cousin table. So there was the 2 young tables, essentially. So basically the mid-20-year-olds. One was a Polish side, one was my side.
Okay.
So it was okay, I'll place Nick on my side because you're my side. But also, I knew they'd take care of you.
Yeah. And they did.
Yeah, exactly.
They did. Table 7 was a hoot and a half. They absolute beauties. Yeah. I love those
They
guys.
know how to drink.
Yeah, that was not my game.
They know how to have a good time.
But yeah, no, it was a good time. We all bonded over table 7.
Yeah, and now we can all hang out. So much fun.
This is true. That at least I'll know who they are now.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to physically be the one planning it, probably.
Probably.
Me, Nick, and all of them.
Yeah.
Because, they don't all always hang out together. We're not that type of friend group.
True.
These are like my smaller friend groups coming together.
Yeah. Now I have a question. So I think we can all agree table 7 was like the best table there.
I mean, it was one of the funnest.
Like,
yes.
Arguably, maybe. But what was your perception on the outside from table 7? I just want to know if there was a perception for table 7.
Oh no, they're exactly what I thought they would be. I was like, yeah, of course they have the fishbowl glasses.
The goblets, yes.
Yes, the giant goblets.
Yes. So that's we were rowdy. We were fun. I thought we were the fun table.
Yeah, but not too rowdy. You know how sometimes
we were the perfect rowdy table.
People are like falling over each other, spilling everywhere. No, that wasn't happening.
We were a classy table 7.
Yeah, and honestly, like so sweet. Love everyone there. But from an outside perspective, you guys were definitely like more not party, but more social than the other young table.
Oh, I'd say so.
Nothing against the other young table. It's just that like they like to sit.
They were sitting and having their conversations.
Yeah, they like to sit and have their conversations. Where you guys came up and danced with me, rocked it out on the dance floor. Nick got dragged out several times. It was honestly fantastic.
Just a few. Just a few times.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But one thing, I haven't actually asked if you did or not, but Nick, did you record any of the ceremony?
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh. Did you
I didn't want to get my hopes up.
Okay. Sure, I'll share it here. So basically, so I filmed most of the first part. My phone started overheating for whatever reason. And I'm like, okay. So I don't have like start to finish, but I have the start. But I mostly missed like the story that I think most people knew.
Oh, that Tamara was telling our officiant?
Yeah.
So just for those who don't know, like my very good family friend that's known me for like 20 years married Spencer and I.
Yes. She was nice. I liked her. But yeah, and then I got everything else. I got like the vows, I got the kiss, I got You got it. Like I got it all. Like
Can I okay, this is like probably TMI, but I was kind of panicking before I went down the aisle in the limo because we waited outside in the limo like for 20 minutes or so because we were really fast. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know how Spencer and I are going to kiss. Like, we never practiced. Like, usually there's the wedding kiss that you practice. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I told him not to dip me or anything because, like, my dress is big.
Yeah.
And my mom says, just a nice open mouth wet kiss, no tongue. And I was like, Mom, stop. Like, that reminds me of, like, a Dementor or something. Like, oh. Yeah. Like, I was like, why am I having this conversation now?
Yeah. No, what? Fine. It looked fine to me. It was perfect. Passionate, but not, like, overly passionate.
Yeah, I mean, like, I posted the photo on Instagram for those of you who want to see. It's just a classic kiss.
Yeah, no, I thought it was all right, yeah.
Yeah, but people were telling me in the ceremony, because, like, for me, a big deal was my entrance. Like, one of the most important things was the ceremony, just for how much thought had gone into it for us, because there was a story. We had a Sam ceremony.
Yeah.
We made sure to tell our story, do our own vows.
Yep.
But my walk down the aisle song was Canon D and the instrumental version of Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make Spencer cry. That was my goal.
Was like, I think he was.
He was crying.
But he pulled himself together at the right moments.
Yeah, no, he was bawling like a baby when I first stepped out. But once I got up there, he like settled himself.
He figured it out. Yeah. But I'll step on something in 1 second. But I thought you were gonna crack so hard on several occasions, and you held your own.
Breakdown crying.
Yeah, you held. And I was, like, legit impressed. I was, like, sitting there in the back because I'm filming this, right? And I'm just like, oh, she's going to crack here. And you, like, were, like, this close. And I was like, oh. And then you, I don't know what you did. You figured it out and you brought it back in. I was like, wow.
No, the photographer sent us some photos. And there's a photo of me, like, ugly, like,
Yeah, you like I said, you were close, but you never went over the edge.
Yeah, like I definitely had a few like tears going down
Yep.
my cheek, but like
Yep.
it was a cute cry. It
Exactly.
wasn't too much.
It was just like a yes kind of, but I don't know, man. I don't know how you held it. It was impressive. I give you props on that one.
I spent $150 on my makeup. I wasn't ruining it that early in the evening.
Yeah, whatever gets you through, I guess. But on your entrance, I was excited to see like the dress because everybody has their dress.
And I didn't show anyone. Like I showed my family knew. Like not my dad didn't even know.
Right, yeah. So like obviously we were all clueless, but like most wedding dresses are pretty nice. Like it's hard to get a bad one, but
yeah, because when you're looking, you're gonna get something that's nice, right? Because most likely you're gonna try on more than one dress.
Yeah, but I want like you nailed it. like you came out, I was like, wow, okay, KRYSTA. Wow.
Yeah,
it was
but
nice.
isn't that like what you would like? Not what you expected from me, but exactly what you would expect from me.
That's pretty much it, right? I was like thinking prior. I was like, what would she wear? Like, like what is a wedding dress? Because some are more simplistic, some more, they're different. There are a lot of different wedding dresses. Mm-hmm. But like, you could have done a lot of things, but that's it. You kind of did exactly.
I went with sparkles, baby.
Yeah, no, it worked, man. It worked. It was a great dress. It was a fantastic dress. Well done.
Yeah, good dress, good entrance, because like the double doors opening and then me stepping out to the first beat to Here Comes the Sun. Just like
it worked.
It worked perfectly, and I was told by a few people they're like, wow, and I was like,
timed.
Thank you.
It was timed well.
But Spencer had no idea. He didn't hear the song.
Right.
He was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't hear the song. I was just crying. I was like, well, the song was meant to make you cry. So I guess that's okay.
It worked. Now I got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So first dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
You did it to Can't Help Falling in Love, but by
Casey Musgraves.
Right. Okay. So that song came out like a week ago. Did you just like on the fly hear this song? Or like, did you have this plan for another song this whole time, and then you're just like, nope?
Okay. So my parents danced to I Can't Help Falling in Love, Elvis.
Okay.
Brianna walked down to her aisle, instrumental version of Can't Help Falling in Love. Okay. Spencer's parents did their first dance song to Can't Help Falling in Love. So it was a very important song for us to involve in the wedding.
Okay, but like I said, this song came out like moments prior.
So there was a sneak preview. So when they're teasing for the movie.
Yeah, no, I remember. I know the.
So they were teasing for the movie. There was like 20 seconds of the song.
Yeah.
And I heard it like a month and a half, or like a month prior to the wedding, and I was like, I love this. Yeah. But I don't know what the whole thing sounds like.
Right.
So we plan to actually do Bones by Hoser and Maren Morris.
Okay, yep.
So that was our original song.
Yeah.
But the Can't Falling in Love was like our backup.
Right.
So the day it was released, I didn't listen to it. I got home, sat down with Spencer, and I said, listen to this.
Yeah.
And like I just laid on his chest and we were listening to the song and we were both crying. And I was like, okay, this is the song.
Yeah.
Right? Like you when you know, you know.
Well, it was just weird because like
because it was so new.
Well, I was like, because I'm thinking about this, like, and this was halfway through the song, because I think DJ Phil said what song it was, but I didn't quite hear him.
DJ Phil was an interesting dude.
Some guy, what a guy. But so like I'm listening, and like halfway through the song, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, wait. Is that version? So I'm thinking to myself, and I'm thinking of the preview, and I'm like, Elvis like just came out last week. Did this song just
It just came out like on the Friday or something.
Did this song like just come out? Like what? I'm like, how much time did they give themselves to do this?
So yeah, it was kind of a last minute decision.
I just thought it was funny just because I was like, literally, I was just like, what the okay.
You're like, when did they decide this? Like yesterday or 10 minutes before?
Kind of literally though. I was just kind of like, I swear the song just came out. Like, I don't know if I can make that decision right there.
Oh yeah.
Well done.
But that's the funny part about my parents' song. They didn't have a song picked out.
Ah.
And they got he was like, "Oh, do you like Elvis?" And my dad was like, "Absolutely." So the DJ played that for them.
Ah.
So always comes in clutch last minute.
Did you guys take like dance classes, or did you just?
No, because we were so our first dance was in a gazebo,
Yep.
which isn't a lot of space.
Mhm.
So if we were gonna do like an entire dance floor, we talked about doing lessons because Spencer's best man's dad teaches dance lessons.
Ah, okay, yep.
And also, like, what a cute little date night, right?
Yep.
Like,
Totally.
3 times before the wedding, you get to go and then you get to practice.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I first fell in love with weddings, because I've seen so many of them before,
Yeah.
working in the industry,
Yeah.
was that no matter what, when the first dance looked like the people were just dancing in their living room,
Yeah.
I would cry. I'd bawl my eyes out.
Right. That was kind of like the perfect setting. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we started dancing, Spencer was just like our living room. And I was just like, okay, yes.
Mhm.
Just like our living room. So we were completely like being dorky ourselves type of dancing. And also like,
But it was nice.
like we were just like making out on the dance floor.
Yep, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was good. It was just like it was simplistic dancing, like, and it doesn't have to be like choreographed art, but you know, like it was good. It was nice.
I would love to have done that with the whole bridal party. You know, like for the grand entrance, like the entourage entrance with everyone.
Right.
How fun would that have been if we just had like a few dance moves to throw out? I was really shooting for Sucker by Jonas Brothers to be the song. Because, like, how cute. I'm a sucker for you. Like,
Yeah.
it's cute and it's really upbeat. And
Yep.
Spencer kept refusing me. And I was like,
Dang it.
I was like, you get a few hills to die on. This is it.
Yeah. You get a couple. You lost one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a whirlwind. I was up till 2:30 at the venue.
Like after the wedding?
Yeah. So like I started to start putting things away because I started to panic. I was like, it's gonna rain. I don't want the cheesecloth to stain the tables. And everyone was telling me, they're like, don't worry about it, Krista. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So like I just kind of took a moment and sat in the secret garden in the back and just kind of like laid down, and I was like, my wedding's over. And like kind of cried to myself.
Right.
So I texted my new husband, expecting for him to come console me or like be in this moment together.
Yeah.
Doesn't answer the text, doesn't answer the call. His brother comes, finds me, sits down, we have like a little chat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it's been almost an hour, I need to go find him.
Mm-hmm.
Find him, he is passed out in the dog bed.
Nice.
In the basement.
Nice.
We almost spent our wedding night in his parents' basement because he would not get up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm calling an Uber. If an Uber comes in 15 minutes and you're not ready, like, we're spending our wedding night here.
Yeah.
But do you know what was the best part of that?
Wow.
Was when we got home, we didn't have a key, either one of us. And we don't have a hidden key anywhere.
Oh, man.
We had to break into our house on our wedding night at 3:30 a.m.
What a story, though.
Yeah, I'm like in my dress and he's still in his suit, and
Yeah.
we're just like trying to climb up to where the windows are because like we have an AC plugged in. So
Right.
like it's cracked, but it's not easy to get.
Yeah. Wow. Well done. That's quite a story.
Yeah, I got 2 keys made today because I was like, that's not happening again.
We're not. Yep. But that that was yeah. I was definitely tired the next day, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, Nick, you stayed till like 12:30 or 12.
Yeah, no, I was there to the bitter end. I honestly couldn't really figure out a way to get out. That was more my issue.
Like out of the wedding, or get your car out?
No, the wedding.
Oh yeah, you made too good of friends with everyone.
Well, it was that, but it was also like, it also gets to a point for, non-drinking Nick. It's just like, okay. But, then I couldn't find you for a while, and I was like, I'm obviously not going to leave without saying goodbye to her. And then all the games started, and I was like, I guess I'm staying here.
Yeah, Nick, Radford Reed are drinking games.
Yes. Nothing was going to get past me.
Yeah, so my wedding was so epic. We had beer pong and flip cup.
Yep.
And then another game that's called, some people call it pot, some people call it like stack cup.
Yeah, that one confused me.
Yeah, I don't like that game.
Yeah.
There's too much happening, and it takes so long to explain it to people who haven't played before.
Yep.
Especially in a setting where I don't really want to like chase after this ball in this garage in my wedding dress.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair.
like
Fair.
And we also had a bulldog there that ate all the balls. So
Yes, she was fun.
Yeah, Britt.
She became a star of the show, but no, it was a good wedding. Like honestly speaking, like I think I know why, but like I think this was one of like the better, if not one of the best weddings I've ever been to. But
Nick, don't make me cry.
actually, that'd be hilarious to see you cry. But no, it's just because like so most of the weddings I've been to have been family related. So it's just a lot of cousins and stuff. And obviously I was a little younger. But, you know, like I've never really been to a wedding where, I don't know, like you had like enough people that were around my age that we could at least talk to. Like I was able to socialize with. It just made it easier. I don't know, like.
You weren't stuck at the family table type of situation.
Right, like I wasn't stuck with my parents or my sister. It was like it was my own thing. And every time it's one of the things, like I don't consider myself too extroverted. Like I don't think of myself as somebody that puts himself out there all that often. But every time
you will
I
when you
think
need
that,
to.
but I do. Like it's not even like that. It's just like I do anyway. It's like because like half the time I'm looking at the tables, I'm looking who's sitting there, and I'm like, I mean, I could just sit at table 9, but I sat down, and you know, one comment later, table 7 is born.
Love that.
Yeah.
Who made like the strongest impression on you at table 7? Just all of them at once?
Kinda. Shannon and Becca for sure.
Yeah.
But then Jess as well. And I mean
Yeah.
Ashley and Kent and Colton.
So all of them.
Yeah, I mean like Colton and I got along pretty well in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it came over to everybody.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I like those guys.
So Jessica, the one thing I noticed when I was walking down the aisle, so I was looking at Spencer, noticing he was crying.
Yeah.
And I whispered to my dad, like, hold me tight because my heel got caught in the grass and I was gonna fall.
Amazing.
So when my ankle gave out because of that, I like turned and I saw Jessica and Ashley, and they're like bawling, sharing one single tissue, passing it back and forth. And like it's one of those moments where like I kind of wanted to laugh, but like I also made me like want to cry more simultaneously because it's like, oh my god, like I love them so much and they're so happy for me.
Yeah.
But it was so funny.
That is amazing. I love that. Yeah. Definitely saw a few tissues in the crowd, and you know, obviously me, like I'm not that kind of a guy for that kind of a reason. Like I was just kind of more like, I was more laughing at Spencer, to be honest.
Yeah. So if you weren't crying, you were laughing at the wedding, which I think is the two great alternatives.
Oh, totally. I just Spencer like trying to hold it in so badly. It was.
I know, and
so
it's funny because some of the photos that the photographer sent, like he has like a triple chin trying to hold it in, and those are just things you don't think about, right? You don't.
Well, not in that situation. You're not thinking about it at that moment.
No, not at all. And Spencer's thinking about like everything that led us to this moment. He's not thinking how he looks.
Well, exactly. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what's happening outside. It's what's on inside.
Yeah, exactly. Which was emotional roller coaster torment because he had no idea what I was gonna look like. Right? Like I kept everything very secret from him.
Yeah, as you should.
We didn't do a first look.
Good.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're on the edge of doing a first look or not, and you don't think that you're going to be so nervous you can't walk down the aisle, don't do the first look. It made that moment when I saw him down the aisle that much more special.
Right.
And like, I was in the limo beforehand, my officiant came up to me just to make sure I was like feeling good. Yes. Making sure I didn't have cold feet or whatever. And I was like, no, like you're going to have to stop me from running down this aisle. And then everyone was like, no, for photos, you got to walk. And then Cassidy, the great friend she is, everyone needs a person like this at your wedding, no matter what. The person who offers you the getaway. She offered, she's like, just say the word. We'll get on I'll take this limo straight to the airport. We'll go to Greece. Tony will pay for it. And I was like, I like how your dad's paying for this trip now.
He almost considered doing it just for that fact, but still
I was
getting
like,
married.
ooh, you know what? That would be a good honeymoon.
Like, just texting Spencer on the way, like, JK, we're actually getting married, but just too good to pass up.
Yeah, like, can you meet me there and we can get married there?
Yeah, kind of funny.
Yeah, very good. But yes, I definitely recommend either having a person like that or not doing the first look, because I know a lot of people need that to feel that calmness, and also you get some fantastic photos that way.
Oh no, it was perfect. It was y'all did everything right.
Hee.
It's a good wedding.
Yes, and our photographer was amazing wrangling our families. Photos were another big ticket item on our list, right?
Yeah.
Like, we wanted a good photographer that knew what she was doing, and Caitlin absolutely nailed it.
Oh yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
And like, she gave a sneak peek within 24 hours from our wedding.
Yep.
Like, she was probably like, we were excited. I'm guessing she was excited to edit the photos.
Yeah.
Because some of them are pretty cool, because we got to like a 1974 or whatever Corvette.
Oh yeah. I saw those
to go
photos.
take photos in. So like, that was really fun to do.
Yeah, those were nice. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
KRYSTA's wedding, that was a thing.
Yeah, and then like, I had a honeymoon that wasn't planned, Nick.
Yeah, you where'd you go?
So Sunday, 4:00, Spencer and I booked our honeymoon. That the ferry left at 6:00. So we were in Maple Ridge, and we're like looking at the clock. We're like, okay, let's go.
Where'd you go?
So we went to Bowen Island.
That's where you went. I knew you were on an island, and I was like, where is she?
Yeah, it was one of the easier ones to do because you don't need a reservation for Bowen.
Right, just get on.
You just get on and go, right? And our Airbnb was fabulous. It was right on the water. It had a hot tub. Like, considering we booked this so last minute, it turned out really great. Like, there was deers running around, little bunnies. I was completely happy. Good hot tub. Yeah, but on the way back, the world decided to test KRYSTA and Spencer.
Okay.
So we talked about it. So we were talking about like, what are expenses that we can finally do now that we don't have to pay for a wedding, because everything I've pushed off. Like, this couch I'm sitting on, I'm gonna reveal it. It's disgusting.
Okay.
Like, we need a new couch so badly. My car needed a new tire because it was losing air. There was just a small leak, but they couldn't patch it, type of thing. But I couldn't justify any of these costs a month or two before the wedding.
No, totally.
So we're talking about, the first thing would be my car tire, because like, that's a safety thing.
Yeah.
So we do the regular thing. We just go put a little bit of air in it. As Spencer's filling the car with air, the tire blows.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it blew in like North Van or somewhere. So not like anywhere bad.
Yeah.
And we're like coming back from our honeymoon. We're like, okay, whatever. Like, not a big deal. One of the bolts is stripped. So Spencer's able to, like, he knows how to change a tire. I know how to change a tire.
Yep.
I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I would probably have to watch a YouTube video to remind myself, but I was taught.
Yep.
And Spencer's changing the tire. Everything's good, except for this one nugget that's stripped and won't come off. So Spencer's like, he's like, I'm just going to go ask someone for help. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And then the other guy, like, this guy in this big truck comes over, and he's like, looking at it. He's like, oh, a stripped whatever. You can't do anything about that. You're just going to have to take it into the shop. And we're like, oh man, like we have BCAA, but we really don't want to have to use it for a tire. Right? So like, I'm getting all hot and sweaty. We didn't have lunch, getting a little hangry. So like, I'm like, the world is testing us right now. Yeah. This is the first thing, right? Yeah. How calm can I be? How calm can he be? Can we figure this out?
Fair.
Eventually, Spencer takes a dime and puts it in like the wrench crowbar thing, and that somehow gives it enough friction to get the nugget off. So we get going, we're good to go, but that tire's been used once before, like my extra, and they're only good for 50 kilometers or so.
They say, but I have opinions on that.
Yeah, they say that for reasons, right? Like you can go a little farther.
I made it from Kirkland, Washington to North Van on a spare tire.
Okay. Yeah. But it has been used before, so I'm a little panicky. I'm like, we need to get it into a shop right away. So we're calling like all of Spencer's being great. He's calling all of the Canadian Tires to be like, do you have an appointment, right?
Yeah.
We got an appointment, but they're like, you're going to have to wait 3 hours. And we're like, what are we going to do for 3 hours?
Fair.
But, you know, we're young in love on our honeymoon, so
whatever.
It worked out just fine.
It worked out just fine.
Mm-hmm. I do have a couple recommendations if people go to Bowen Island, because if you're like me, you might never have been there before. It's so easy to get there. Have you been there?
I might have a long-ass time ago, but I do not remember.
It's a 20-minute ferry.
It is.
It's like 15 minutes load on, 15 minutes load off, and then just like 20 minutes of actual ferry ride.
Yeah.
Super easy. Everything is so local, but it's the most Canadian place you'd ever be. You look around and you're like, yeah, this is Canada. Right? Like, it's just like everyone's dressed like a typical Vancouverite person.
Fair enough.
All the food is gluten-free or gluten-friendly and, like, my sensitivities, which makes me super happy because usually I can't go, like, when I go to restaurants, I have to look at the menu beforehand or, like, come to terms that, like, I'm going to just have a salad. And, like, I don't want a salad anymore. I was dieting for my wedding.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So I definitely would recommend Barcelona Tapas and Wine Bar. Amazing. Okay. There was a very lovely couple there that bought us a bottle of champagne. Okay. Because they found out Spencer and I were engaged, which was really cute.
Yeah.
So that was like my top recommendation for food.
Okay.
Snug Cafe. It was good, and I'm not saying this to like rat on them, but I found a giant hunk of plastic in my sandwich.
Nice.
And like it was one of those things where like I was eating it, I was like, this is a hard piece of meat. And just like kept going. And then I was like, oh no, never mind. But they were so busy, you didn't want to bother them. Yeah. And like tell them.
Probably like a one-off kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I looked through my entire sandwich to make sure it was nowhere else, because my concern was if it was somewhere else in my sandwich, then there might be more pieces in like someone else's sandwich. But I was like, okay, so one piece, whatever. We're not gonna say anything.
It just happens.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It's dog friendly. A lot of the places there. Go hit it up. Apparently they have one of the nicest beaches. Spencer and I couldn't find it, but we weren't really adventuring. We were just kind of lounging.
Yep, just enjoying the time.
Yeah, you know, being young and in love.
That's exactly what it was.
This is my last day of like my honeymoon, because I took an extra day off work and Spencer didn't. So I get to be annoying for like today.
Back to work and regular life tomorrow.
Yeah, but I played it smart. I am only working Thursday, Friday.
Fair enough.
Right? Not a bad gig.
Short week.
Short week, but like a good introduction.
Yep, good back. Good back. Yeah.
Yeah, I needed that time off though.
That's fair.
Yeah. And any more comments about table 7, Nick?
I just thought we were the best table there. Like it was so clear cut. Like excusing, I guess, the bridal table because I have to.
Yeah, and they killed it with their speeches. Like,
oh yeah, they were good.
Like Michaela's speech made me cry. I didn't know what she was gonna say.
Right.
And honestly, like, if you met Michaela 8 years ago, no way in hell would she stood up in front of 60 people.
Yeah. And
do a speech.
Yeah, she did well.
Voluntarily.
Yeah, she did well.
Because I asked my bridesmaids, I was like, oh, it would really mean a lot to me if either one of you or all of you said something. Yeah. We have some time before dinner, blah, blah. Just let me know so that, like, scheduling-wise, we know what's going on. Yeah. And Michaela told me, she's like, I just want to say something myself. Is that okay? And I was like, yes. That's so okay.
Yeah.
And then Spencer's best man, I didn't know he was even saying anything.
Ah.
I think it was kind of a last minute decision.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, I think he always thought he was going to say something, but
Yeah.
never mentioned it.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Which is, fair. Like, it's only 3 to 5 minutes. It's not going to take forever.
Yeah.
And very family-friendly stories.
Yep.
Which I appreciate.
No, they were good. It was all good. It was all good. It's all good. But Table 7 was still number 1.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, Nick, that you didn't interview people for the podcast.
Fair enough. I mean...
I'm joking, right?
No, I know, but thinking back, I'm like, fair enough. I mean, yeah, but... It's touch busy that day.
Yeah, that's fair. Literally making Nick do everything.
I offered. It wasn't so much telling me what to do. Haley looked busy, and I was like, "Can I help you?"
Aw, I'm sure she appreciated that.
I hope she does.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yep. This was an episode.
Yeah,
but it's not done yet.
We're already at an hour.
Yes, we are, but it's not done yet.
We're not?
How do we usually... You've been out of this game too long, man.
Oh my gosh.
We have still like 2 segments to go, and you've already cut one of them in half.
Did I? Oops.
You've like... Anyway.
Questions of the week.
Questions of the week. You ask, we answer. You're not asking this week because we didn't ask anybody. But I'm going to move the shade for this one.
move it over. Okay.
So, KRYSTA, you planned your own wedding. What was it like?
Oh, that's a loaded question, Nick.
Yeah, don't go in too deep.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it short for everyone listening. So I have seen lots of weddings. I am an event planner. The last thing I wanted to do was come home from planning something to plan more.
Yeah, fair.
Like, when all the fun stuff was done,
Yep.
like picking the caterer, picking the photographer, because those are like artistic personal choices.
Okay, quick side touch. The food was great.
Yeah, so that was a total shot in the dark because
Good decision.
they
It
don't
was
have
a
like
good
an
decision.
actual catering section.
Ah,
But we've just heard through word of mouth that they're really good. Someone had them at a different wedding. They did not take instructions. They're like, we're going to be the easiest vendors you deal with. And then we won't hear from them at all.
they were good. It was good. Good food.
Yeah, it was great. And it was honestly like they gave us buckets of food to bring home. Spencer and I are meal prepped for the next 2 weeks. Our fridge is full of food.
Lucky. Anyway.
Yeah, honestly, anyone that was asking, like my aunt took home a bunch of food. Some other people took food. I think it's just like one of those things those ladies didn't want to throw out anything because they're Greek.
It was good food. It was good food. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, but the hardest part was telling your dear friends and family what to do or no.
Ah.
And also trusting your partner. So, for example, I gave Spencer like 4 or 5 tasks.
Okay.
He completed 3 of them.
Oh.
Which isn't a bad thing. Like, they were big tasks.
Yeah.
Like, tent, DJ.
Yeah.
He took on the champagne wall himself. I did not give him that job. But also groomsmen. Like, he was supposed to take care of anything groomsmen related.
Right. Fair enough.
The groomsmen got no instructions. And it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice if, like, we had more help on that side. Or, like, they knew what was going on. They didn't have that correspondence, so they didn't know.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah.
But, like, it's just, like, one of those things. Like, not having all the bridal party at the rehearsal dinner. That kind of...
A little tough.
It's a little tough. They don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
They can't get their suits, so we have to end up picking up the suits.
Uh-huh.
Right? Just like little things just start adding up that way.
Yeah.
And one thing I would also recommend besides the day of coordinator is do more bridal activity, like bridal party activities. So that the group gets to know each other a bit more. Because the first time that they were all actually meeting each other was at the wedding.
Yeah, I definitely saw that. They're all like, oh, hey, you.
Yeah, like, I know of you. You're Chris's sister or something. It's like, no, you shouldn't be having that conversation. You should have been.
Yeah.
We should have already had this at least once before.
Fair enough, yeah.
Right? And it's not like it's noticeable in any way, but it's just like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for you and your person and your friends and that particular group of people. I think if you set the standard earlier of what you want on that would be a lot easier.
Fair, yeah. Speaking of bridal party, like Maddie, she was legitimately excited to meet me, and it was kind of
my
fun.
gosh, she was so excited to meet you. Like on the Friday night, the bridal party, we all just watched Mamma Mia type of thing.
Okay.
And she's like, I can't wait to meet Nick, and I was like, my Nick? Like I had to like clarify like who she was talking about.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I've listened to all your guys' episodes, and like we've never talked about my podcast together, so I'm like,
oh, okay.
Hi, Maddie.
Yeah. No, she was just like, Nick. I'm like, hi. She's like, Maddie. I'm like, yeah, okay, hi. She's like, half of this wedding, I just solely wanted to meet you. And I was like, I'm great. And she's like, I followed you on Instagram. I'm like, I didn't follow you back.
Do you know what's funny? I think we had that conversation when she followed you.
We did.
Yeah. Oops.
And I Well, I followed her now. We're friends, Maddie, right?
Hey, right? Yes. I mean, she's all the way back home now.
Good.
She was not the furthest traveled for the wedding. Probably the longest drive.
But she had that big exam. Hopefully you did well.
Yeah, hopefully you did well. So this girl had her like provincial exam for RT stuff.
Like
on the Monday after the wedding at 7:30 a.m.
What a champ.
I was like, I love you so much.
What an absolute champ.
Anyway. So good.
Anyway.
So
the next segment, which you've given about 6 already.
Oh, yes. Recommendations of the week. We recommend apparently 6 things an episode. This was a special episode, okay? I have knowledge I can provide. I didn't have enough time to sort through my thoughts.
Do we make this a non-wedding recommendations of the week?
Ooh.
Or
no, let's stick on theme. On theme.
I might not have one for the wedding, but
hey, any recommendations you have for future MCs?
Okay. Go. Okay. You start.
My recommendations for any bridal parties, bridesmaids out there, show up. Just be there. Honestly, that was the nicest thing about having my girls there, was that they were just there.
Yeah.
You know, I was never by myself, which was nice.
Yeah. That was
and
good.
They pumped me up in the best way. Like, before I walked down the aisle, they made sure to, like, tell me, this is my wedding. You better enjoy it. I'm about to be a wife. Let's take a shot.
Sure. Yeah. Fair. Yeah,
so that's my recommendation for wedding parties. And also, maybe just look over the schedule and give any input.
Fair. I guess my recommendation as an MC, try to figure out what you're doing and kind of what you're supposed to say prior to, like, doing it just before. Like, definitely a few things that I said on that microphone, I literally had just clarified 30 seconds prior.
Oh, yeah, like, confirming Spencer and I's name.
The name, what you wanted me to say, what tables I was saying next, what this was happening. Like, remember that joke that I made about how nobody listens to the podcast at the wedding?
Yeah.
That came from your dad. moments before that.
That came from my dad.
He's like, yeah, your podcast. What? Why are people not listening? What are the top countries? Not no one here. You should mention that. And I was like, that's actually a great idea.
Brian, you're hilarious.
Yeah, good one. But yeah, I guess, and like I said, I wasn't like I feel like I wasn't a typical MC. Not that this was like necessarily a stereotypical wedding, but like
that's the thing too. Like we didn't need the formal MC to like introduce himself and everyone from the wedding party. And,
right.
Like...
Well, exactly. Like it would literally, my job on the microphone was introducing them back, getting people to sit down, and telling which tables to go for dinner.
Yeah, and telling a few jokes here and there.
That was literally my job. Half the time I didn't even introduce. It wasn't until halfway through that I decided I probably should introduce myself and who I am and why I'm talking on a microphone.
I mean, I think enough people, after they figured out you're from the podcast, are like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think they figured it out, but I did clarify and got a few shouts when I said I was one half of the podcast, Discontinued Gravy. Yours was definitely the loudest.
Yeah, I mean, I was also knew that you were about to call dinner, so I was standing right beside you. I was like, okay, I'm hungry. I didn't have anything to eat today.
But yeah, so I guess maybe don't, unless you're really good at winging it, like I'm pretty good at that. I mean, this is literally what the podcast is. We just wing this. But maybe if you get some nuggets beforehand, which I did, and it's the one nugget I didn't give. The bathroom thing. I never said that. It was the one nugget I got prior to the wedding, and I never said it.
That's funny. Because I'm thinking now, yeah, I don't think anyone mentioned that the bathrooms were like... Nope. So at the wedding, there's the nicer, bigger bathroom, and then like the small bathroom. So the small bathroom was for the dudes, the big bathroom was for the girls. Yep. Just like space-wise, it makes sense, and also like girls take longer in the bathroom. They just do.
Sure, but I don't think that happened.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh well, I don't think it was a problem.
It was not, and frankly, Vince, was it Vince?
Spencer's dad?
Yeah,
no, he was really concerned about it. He's like, are you sure you're not getting another porta potty? And I was like, I've looked it up. Was he?
Because he sure didn't seem like it.
Oh, he was like worried before the wedding. Like he kept making sure that like my numbers were right. Like back when we thought we were having closer to 80 people, maybe we might have needed a porta potty. But
during like the day of, he was just like, I don't care who's in my house. They can do whatever they want.
Oh, yeah. So Spencer and I didn't want people walking through the house that much just because it's like the wedding's outside.
Yeah.
Right? You're here to spend time with us, not go in the house.
Yeah. But I don't think anybody did. But the bathroom thing, he was just like, go in the bathroom.
Go in and out.
But, so that's my recommendation.
Yeah.
For emceeing a wedding.
Perfect. I feel like those are a few nuggets for some bridal parties out there.
If you're having a wedding anytime soon, I think you know who to talk to. Both of us.
Hey, we got you.
Anyway, well, it's nice to be back.
Yeah, we'll try to make this more of a regular occurrence again.
Maybe, but I'm pretty sure we'll be back at it again with more Discontinued Gravy next week.
Hell yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Peace.